विदम्बनेन दृशः नृणां चालयतः विधातुः न अन्य उपलक्ष्यः पदवीं प्रसादात् चरामि पश्यन् गत विस्मयः अत्र सोऽहं हरेर्मर्त्य विदम्बनेन दृशो नृणां चालयतो विधातुः नान्योपलक्ष्य पदवीं प्रसादात् चरामि पश्यन् गत विस्मयोऽत्र सोऽहं हरेर्मर्त्य विदम्बनेन दृशो नृणां चालयतो विधातुः नान्योपलक्ष्य पदवीं प्रसादात् चरामि पश्यन् गतविस्मयोऽत्र सोऽहं हरेर्मर्त्य विदम्बनेन दृशो नृणां चालयतो विधातुः नान्योपलक्ष्य पदवीं प्रसादात् चरामि पश्यन् गतविस्मयोऽत्र. Please repeat.
Harirmatya vidambanena Vishonrinam chaliyato vidhatuhu Nanyopalaksha paravim prasadat Charami pasyan gata vismayotra Soham harirmatya vidambanena Trishorinam chaliyato vidhatuhu Nanyopalaksha paravim prasadat Chirami pasyan gata vismayotra Soham harimatya vidambanena Trishorinam chaliyato vidhatuhu Trishorinam chaliyato vidhatuhu Nanyopalaksha padavim prasadat
Mataji, please.
Soham harirmatya vidambanena Trishorinam chaliyato vidhatuhu Nanyopalaksha padavim prasadat Chirami pasyan gata vismayotra Soham harirmatya vidambanena Vishonrinam chaliyato vidhatuhu Nanyopalaksha padavim prasadat Chirami pasyan gata vismayotra Soham harirmatya vidambanena Vishonrinam chaliyato vidhatuhu Nanyopalaksha padavim prasadat Charami pasyan gata vismayotra.
So, saha, aham, therefore I. Harehe, the personality of Godhead. Martyam, in this material world. So in this mortal world. Vedambanenam, without being recognized. Drishaha, on sight. Nirnam, of the people in general. Chalayataha, bewildering. Vidatuhu, in order to do it. Na, not. Anya, other. Upalakshyaham, seen by others. Padavim, glories. Prasadat, by the grace of. Charami, do travel. Pashyan, by seeing. Gata, vismayaha, without doubt. Atra, in this matter. Translation purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation: I'm not astonished at this, having traveled all over the world without being seen by others. The activities of the personality of Godhead, which are like those of a man in this mortal world, are bewildering to others, but I know of His greatness by His grace, and thus I am happy in all respects. Purport: although he was a brother of Dhritarashtra, Vidura was completely different. By the grace of Lord Krishna, he was not foolish like his brother, and thus his brother's association could not influence him. Dhritarashtra and his materialistic sons wanted to falsely lord it over the world by dint of their own strength. The Lord encouraged them in this, and thus they became more and more bewildered. But Vidura wanted to achieve sincere devotional service of the Lord, and therefore became a soul absolutely surrendered to the absolute personality of Godhead. He could realize this in the progress of his pilgrim's journey, and thus he was freed from all doubts. He was not at all sorry to be bereft of his hearth and home, because he now had experienced that dependence on the mercy of the Lord is a greater freedom than the so-called freedom at home. A person should not be in the renounced order of life unless he is firmly convinced of being protected by the Lord. This stage of life is explained in the Bhagavad Gita as Abhayam Sattva Samshuddhihi. Every living entity is factually, completely dependent on the mercy of the Lord. But unless one is in the pure state of existence, he cannot be established in this position. The stage of dependence is called Sattva Samshuddhihi, or purification of one's existence. The result of such purification is exhibited in fearlessness. A devotee of the Lord is called Narayana Parayana, is never afraid of anything because he is always aware of the fact that the Lord protects him in all circumstances. With this conviction, Vidura traveled alone, and he was not seen or recognized by any friend or foe. Thus he enjoyed freedom of life without obligation to the many duties of the world. When Lord Sri Krishna was personally present in the mortal world, in his eternal blissful form of Shyama Sundara, those who were not pure devotees could not recognize him or know his glories. Avajananti mamudha manushim tanamashritam. He is always bewildering the non-devotees, but he is always seen by the devotees by the dint of their pure devotional service to him. Om Agyana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadam Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shritafpada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishavamscha Shri Rupam Sagajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagan Lalita Shri Vishakan Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namosate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vansha Kalpatarubhyasya Kripasandubhyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vikasa Swamanati Namine Rajajana Rasavedi Prachita Shri Jaya Shri Sahaparikara Gaurangarankita Swanta Bhumihi Bhuvana Vidita Tirtha Stoma Kirter Vitayi Bhuvi Jayati Vikaso Bhakti Purvo Yatindraha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamanati Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Prasharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Vagisha Yasya Vadane Lakshmi Yasya Chavakshisi Yasyaste Hridaye Samvit Tamrasimha Maham Bhaje Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara, Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Mukham Karti Vachalam, Pangum Langaite Girim, Yat Kripata Maham Vande, Shri Gurum Dinataranam, Paramananda Madhavam, Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram, Yashideve Parabhakta, Yata Deve Tata Guru, Tasyaite Katita Hyartha, Prakashante Mahatmanaha. Guru Vaishnava Bhagavan Tine Smarane Hoy, Vigya Vinashan, Anayashi Hoy, Nicha Vanchita Puran. So we can see this over here, that Dhritarashtra is being separated. He is asking about his brother, and he is not surprised, and he's not astonished at, we can see in the previous verse over here, he says, O gentle one, I simply lament for Dhritarashtra, who rebelled against his brother after death. By him, I was driven out of my own house, although I am a sincere well-wisher, because he accepted the line of action adopted by his own sons. So he is not bewildered. He does not think, oh, I'm not astonished. And you can see sometimes when a person is, at least in the mode of goodness, or they're practicing devotional service, at a certain point of time, nothing surprises them anymore. And you just see this, and then you understand more and more the gravity of Srila Prabhupada's statements. One of them is, don't be surprised by who leaves. Be surprised by who stays. It's amazing, actually. Be surprised by who stays. And when I first came, I was 19, and just within like 4 months of me staying there were like 4 different parties which came and left the ashram. And I was really surprised, and I asked a senior devotee, Chandra Choi, I asked him, like, Chandra, why is everyone leaving? And he's an amazing person himself. But I asked him, why is everyone leaving? He said, Prabhupada said, don't be surprised by who leaves, be surprised by who stays. And I was thinking, like, well, okay, whatever that means, But then it's true. It's really amazing. Like, you'll be shocked and you'll see. I hope you don't see. But, it's there. It happens so much. Then, the material nature itself is so strong. We cannot underestimate the strength of the material energy. Daivi hesha gunamai mama maya durateya mameva ye prapadyante maya metam tarantite. That the material nature is so strong that you can never be surprised. Actually, oh my God, Maya acted on him. Yeah, Maya acted on him. Why not? Why? Because then we're not taking shelter of of Krishna's internal potency. Daivi and Prakriti. It's like we have to understand Krishna's potency is so powerful. That's why Krishna's internal potency is powerful, and Krishna's external potency is also very powerful. And more powerful, of course, is Krishna's internal potency. But the living entity has free will, and the Lord never tries to mess with the free will of the living entity. Otherwise, there is no question of love. How will you love someone if you're forced to love him? I put a gun to your head and say, you have to love me now. Will you love me? You'll say, I love you, okay. You can perform a little drama for some time, but everyone knows that it's not based on love. But Krishna wants that pure love for himself. And because he wants that pure love for himself, he gives the living entity free will. You can behave however you want. You can do however you like. And if you want to fully surrender to Krishna, great. Mahatmana samam partha daivim prakriti mashata. You can become a Mahatma. You can take full shelter of Krishna's internal potency. Daivim prakriti mashata. Bhajanti ananya manaso gyatva bhuta adamavayam. They're always singing of Krishna within their hearts. Therefore, they are the topmost yogis. Who's the topmost yogi? According to Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita, it's not the yogis who are performing core power yoga or, thank God I'm forgetting the names of the other yoga studios which I saw in New York. But he's not talking about those yogis who are, in the name of performing yoga, simply looking for a hot vegetarian girlfriend, or these days, a hot vegetarian boyfriend. Anyway, who cares? But they're looking for these people. That's why they come. And then they say, oh no, we're doing yoga. It's a real thing. There was once a devotee who was talking about yoga, and I got real with him, and I asked him, Prabhuji, you want to talk about, yoga and how it's helping people, and yoga is meant to control the senses. Yes, we are teaching people to control the senses. I asked him, Prabhu, being a person in a male's body, can you honestly tell me, if there's a hot girl next to you, half naked, stretching her body, will your mind be able to be under control? Be honest. No, it's a scam. So we understand this. That real yoga, who's a real yogi? According to Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita, yogi nama api sarvesham madgatena antaratmanaha shraddhavan bhajate yomam samayukta tamo mataha. We say that the topmost yogi, according to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is he who's always thinking of him within his heart. He's always thinking of him. He cannot, there's no question. Tyrese, can you please sit here? Sit in the front. I don't want to embarrass you more. Just come and sit here, please. This is like too much. You guys are just playing with each other. This is nonsense. So, we say this, the bhajantyananya manaso gyata bhutadamavyayam. We say this. That, the topmost yogi is one who's always thinking of the Supreme Personality of Godhead in his heart. And he's performing this devotional service. And this devotional service does not have to be dependent upon your material situation whatsoever. We read about this, and one thing which I was brand new, and it's really awesome reading Prabhupada's books, and every time you read Prabhupada's books, it's really amazing. But when you read Srila Prabhupada's books for the first time in your life, it's a whole other experience, It's a really amazing experience, actually. I remember, Jacob, was the first time you read Krishna book with us. Do you remember that time? It was after like a super book distribution event or something, and we all came back and we were reading Krishna book, and we're like, wow, Prabhu, this is awesome, man. I don't know anything about this. And I just realized, actually, yeah, he never read the Krishna book. And, he was reading all the small books and then like Bhagavad Gita. And the Krishna was like, oh my God, that's amazing, right? It's amazing. When you read what is speaking when you read Chaitanya Charitamrita for the first time or Bhakti Siddhanta Vaibhava for the first time? Oh, that was really amazing. But I remember reading the Nectar of Devotion for the first time. And in that, there's this description of this extremely poor Brahmana from South India, extremely poor Brahmana. And he once heard in a Bhagavatam class that you can worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead in your mind. Pure devotee, amazing. So he thought, okay, this is great. I could do this. Let me try. So every day while he's performing his sadhana, he's thinking about how he's building a temple for the Lord. And like we know, it takes some time to build a temple for the Lord. And maybe in the mind it may take longer, but he was being practical, I think. So, so he was building a temple for the Supreme Lord in his mind, and then he finally installed the deities, and he's doing all this and doing all that. He's collecting water from all the holy places in his mind. And then, he thought, okay, today, one day now, I'm going to feed sweet rice for the pleasure of the Supreme Lord. It's going to be amazing. So then, he cooked the sweet rice in his mind, and then he wanted to test and see, what's the temperature of the sweet rice. So when you make the sweet rice for the Lord and you want to test the temperature and you don't have a temperature gun, how are you supposed to test it? That's right, like this, not like this, right? I thought someone was going to say it like this, Prabhuji. We saw a video where one of our let me put my nail in it. No, we test it like this, right? So because we don't want to put our nail in the boga for the Supreme Lord, so you test it like this. So he tests it like that, and then, his fingers burnt, and he breaks out of his meditation, and he sees his fingers actually burnt. And the Supreme Personality of God is sitting with his consort, and he is laughing. And Lakshmi Devi is asking, why are you laughing? And, he says, you know what? Wait. And then he sends Garuda and a couple of his Vishnudutas to go get him. And he says, bring him and he will tell you the story himself. And he comes and he says, and he's back home, back to Godhead. And we relish about his amazing devotional achievement in a Bhagavatam class all the way in 2024. God knows when it happened. But it happens. These things are going on. And so we can see this is the topmost yogi, not the other so-called yogis of this material world. That's why Krishna, these are such yogis who are the topmost. Udara sarva evaite jnani tvatmai bhave matam. Astita sahyuktatma mam evan uttamam gatim. That udara sarva evaite, that such a person, who before that Krishna is tesham gnani nitya yukta eka bhakti vidiyate vishishyate priyo. Hold. I got this. Tesham gnani nitya yukta eka bhakti vishishyate priyo hi gnanino tyartam aham sacha mama priyaha. Okay, all right. So in this verse, anyway, I'm definitely going to forget a couple of the points Srila Prabhupada makes in the translation and purport. We can see this over here. Could you please pull that up, sir? Who's the DJ for the day? Studies, okay. So Bhagavad Gita chapter 7 must be text number 17, isn't it? Yeah, okay. So of all the people Krishna speaks about, of the one who is in full knowledge and who is always engaged in pure devotional service is the best. For I am very dear to me, and I am very dear to him, and he is very dear to me. Krishna says this. And then, this is very applicable to Dhritarashtra over here, to Vidura over here. Because in the purport, Srila Prabhupada writes, okay, all right. He says, free of all contaminations of material desires, the distressed, the inquisitive, the penniless, and the seeker after supreme knowledge can all become pure devotees. But out of them, he who is in knowledge of the absolute truth the knowledge of Krishna, and free from all material desires, becomes a really pure devotee of the Lord. And of the four orders, the devotee who is in full knowledge and is at the same time engaged in devotional service the Lord says, the best. Vidura. Let's see. Okay, and the next verse, Krishna says, Udara Sarvaite, we just quoted this. All these devotees are undoubtedly magnanimous souls, but he who is situated in knowledge of me, I consider to be just like my own self. And the Mayavadis love this verse. They say, oh, see, the guy, look at this. The Gyanis say, oh, Gyanitvat Mayavamata. But rascals, they don't see the previous verse. They don't see all these things. Krishna is so kind that he's just like my own self. Just like my own self. And sometimes you feel guilty, sometimes, if you're in charge of someone and something, like happens to them, like, you can send them out on book distribution, and then you send them out in the hot sun, and you see that half their neck is red and the other half is like white. That means they got sunburnt. You feel bad. Oh my God! And you feel like, oh, it's like my responsibility. I feel bad. I sent this devotee out and his skin is burnt. Same thing. If the mother asks the child to do something, oh, can you go get this, and the child gets hurt, you feel naturally like the mother feels more pain than the child. Anytime the child is in pain. So similarly, we can see pain also, happiness also. We can see that, maybe your best friend won a big award, but actually that award is mine. You may have won it, but I'm getting more pleasure from it if you're not envious of them. So the Supreme Personality of Godhead is not envious of his devotees, and his devotees are not envious of him. Idam tate guhyatamam pravaksham anusuyave. Anusuyave. Yeah, all right, you guys know this verse. Go ahead. What's the rest of the verse? Yeah, the whole thing you can say. Yagyatva moksha sheshupat. That we can say this, that idam tate guhyatamam pravakshami nusuyave. That the devotees of the Supreme Personality of God are not envious of him. And that's how it goes. That's the loving exchange between the devotee and the Supreme Lord. They're not envious of each other. Rather, they want to serve. The Supreme Lord wants to serve his devotees. That's just the nature of his. That's who he is. Actually, he's a guileless person. The Saulabhyata and Shaushilya of the Supreme Lord. You can easily attain the Supreme Lord, and he has very good qualities. We see this, more and more. Supreme Lord has very good qualities, and he wants us to be associated with him, actually, because he is guileless, actually. Supreme Personality of God does not feel envious of the living entities. Like, oh, no, you know what? I will spite him and fight him. Now we know this is an ancient English sloka quoted in the Tamasic schools of England. Man, this is there. They say, oh, God will, punish you forever or something like this. No, he does not want to do. You do it to yourself. Once, like a devotee, German devotee, asked Srila Prabhupada, Krishna loves us so much. Why did he create Maya? Then Prabhupada said, Krishna didn't create Maya. You created Maya. You're the reason. You're an illusion. So we understand this. So anyway, the Mayavadis are rascals. They say all this kind of bogus stuff all the time. So all these, but he who is situated in knowledge of me, I consider to be like my own self. Being engaged in my transcendental service, he is sure to attain me, the highest and most perfect goal. So then we see over here, the Lord says that all are magnanimous because anyone who comes to the Lord for any purpose is called a Mahatma. Not some Duratma Bundi or something like that. No. One who comes to this Lord for devotional service. And we can see so many people can make like a big show, like, with this person who goes by the name Mahatma, was saying, you see, in order for India to attain independence, I will even give up my Ram bhajan. I'll give up my bhajan of Ram. What kind of a rascal are you? I'll give up Ram bhajan for the sake of independence. Are you a fool or what? Anyway, and then for some time he was on the altar of almost every Indian home. Freaking crazy people. Anyway, so the devotees who want some benefit of the devotional service are accepted by the Lord because there is an exchange of affection. Why? Because anyway, he came to me. All right. And we'll have some, back and forth. All right, it's like a child, the father may know, all right, this guy doesn't really love me. He kind of loves me, but he doesn't. But anyway, all right, fine. We'll be fine. But Prahlad Maharaj says, I'm not a vanik. Vanik. What does vanik mean? Merchant. I'm not a merchant. I'm not coming here to do business with you. I'm giving you myself no matter what. And Bhakti Thakur talks about this Atma Samarpana, throwing yourself at the lotus feet of Krishna. Throwing yourself. And Vidura did this, throwing himself at the lotus feet of Krishna. And we'll get to this shortly. He says, Prabhupada writes, the devotees who want some benefit, okay, out of affection they ask the Lord for some material benefit. And when they get it, they become so satisfied that they also advance in devotional service. Amazing. But the devotee in full knowledge is considered to be very dear to the Lord because his only purpose is to serve the Supreme Lord with love and devotion, not lust and commotion, with love and devotion. Such a devotee cannot live a second without contacting or serving the Supreme Lord. The Supreme Lord is very fond of his devotee and cannot be separated from him. So in this regard, actually, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur makes a very amazing point. And this is nectar, actually. This is nectar. And I can read this out. Where is this? No, not this. Sorry. Okay. So this is what Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, that Dhritarashtra is thinking. I could possibly send you this, Prabhu, and you could also, it's called what, airplay, screenplay, what? Yeah, screenplay. What do you say, sir? Okay, sure. We're too used to WhatsApp. I could, yeah, okay. I guess I'll just take over this thing. This display of the screen here. Okay, all right. So here he says, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, say this is why I don't usually do this. I'm sorry. I don't know. Okay, it's good now? Everyone can see this? No, okay. Okay, Chandan, please. It's perfect. Thank you so much. Thanks. Okay, if it's too much, I'll just say it, okay? No, I took a picture. I'm sorry. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama. Okay, you can zoom in, okay. So now this is amazing. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, you can just go to the commentary, please. But his violence towards me, this is Dhritarashtra, this is Vidura saying this. But his violence toward me did not harm me. Rather, it was beneficial for me. By the Lord's mercy, I have seen the feet of the Lord who hides from the intellectual faculties, drishaha, of materialistic men by cheating persons at Dhritarashtra. And this is a very important point. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Naham prakasha sarvasya yoga maya samavritaha mudo yam nabi janati loko mam ajamavyayam. He says, I cover myself by the veil of Maya. By the veil of Maya. You can see so many people are there, they may think, where is God? I cannot see God anywhere. Where is God? Where is He? And then, my Guru Maharaj was saying once he was in this debate, and, Hridayananda Goswami and a couple of others were debating with these atheists, and then they were saying, God is everywhere. So yes, God is everywhere. So then, in order to defeat Hridayananda Goswami, he was like, well, is God in my pocket? Is God in my pocket? Well, is He in my pocket? And then, that was the thing. But, what's the right answer? Yes, is an atom in my pocket? Is an atom in my pocket? It is. Can you see it? No, you need to have the qualification to see. You need your microscopes, right? Maybe not. Whatever. You need something. Or is it an imagination, right? You can't see it yet, right? But you need to have the qualification to understand that you have an atom in your pocket, right? So similarly, the qualification to see Krishna is Premanjana Chirita Bhakti Vilochanena Santa Sadaiva Hridayeshi Viloka Yanti Yam Shama Sundaram Achintya Guna Swarupam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. You'll need to see, is Krishna in your pocket? Yes, if an atom is in your pocket, Krishna is certainly in your pocket. Why? Ekopyaso rachiutam jagadanda kotim yachaktiras jagadanda chayayadantaha andantarasya paramanu chayantarasam govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. Matter of fact, Krishna is in your pocket, of course. He's in every atom, and he's also between the space of those. He's also in the space between those atoms. Krishna is there also. He's there. As Paramatma is there. So, what do you have to say? But anyway. So we can see this over here. So Krishna, he keeps this veil of Maya, for the non-devotees to not see him. But the Lord, affectionate to his devotee, is astonishing in this way, free from doubt. Asamshaya samagram mam yata gyasasi tat shrinu. Krishna says, Maya tatam idam sarvam jagadavyakta murtina matstani sarvabhutani. Nachaham te shuvasitaha. He says, you just listen. Asam shayam samagramam yata gyasati tat shruno. Krishna says, that just listen to me, Krishna, please, just listen to me, Arjuna. Freed of doubt. Just hear what I have to say. Tat shruno. Hear. And if you do this, what will you get? Ashakti. Krishna says this, and you can pull this up at 7.1. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha. Maya Shakta Manaf Partha Yogam Yunja Madashraya Asam Shayam Samagram Mam Yata Gyasasi Tat Shrinu. Krishna says this over here. That's it. That's the one. Okay. Yeah, you might as well just give it to me. Yeah. You fix that picture so I can just move it? Okay, thank you so much. So, see, Maya Ashakta, Krishna says over here, Maya Ashakta, you get asakti towards me. Maya Asakta, you'll get asakti towards me. What is asakti? You'll get this stage beyond even ruchi. It's right before bhava. You can get asakti. How? If you asam shayam samagram mam, freed of doubt, you'll get it. What's the problem? What's the difficulty? You can get it. You can get love for Krishna, actually, if you simply hear. It's simply here. That Shrinu, Krishna is saying this right here. It's asam shayam samagram mam. It's crazy. Krishna is saying it right here. In the Bhagavad Gita is for neophytes, Prabhuji. No, it's not. Read this. Supreme Personality of Godhead said, now hear, O son of Pritha, how by practicing yoga and full consciousness of me, with mind attached to me, you can know me in full, free of doubt. You can know Krishna in full, free of doubt, if you simply hear. Simply hear. That's why Chaitanya Charitamrita says, Nitya Siddha Krishna Prema Sadhya Ka Punai, Shravanadi Siddha Chitte Kore Udai. That, love for Krishna is not something alien for us. It's not something alien. It's actually very natural. Love for Krishna is actually eternally there in our heart. And how will you get it? By hearing. By hearing. Nitya Siddha Krishna Sadhya Ka Punai. Shravanadi Shuddha Chitte. If you simply hear Shravanadi Shuddha Chitte Kore Udai, it's very amazing. Krishna, simply by how easy can it be? You're like, homie, just stay awake in Bhagavatam class. Is that too much to ask? Come on, stay awake in Bhagavatam class. Chant your rounds, dance and kirtan, and just wait a little bit. At least, you have inspiration that there's going to be good prasadam and after Bhagavatam class. So you're like, just hang in there. It's there. You can do it. What's the problem? Just hear. Nashta prayasho vadreshu nityam bhagavati sevaya bhagavati uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naishtiki. Krishna says this, what's the problem? There's no difficulty, there's nothing at all. So, we just have to hear. We simply hear, then we can develop attachment to Krishna. We'll be freed from all these other things which are binding you up. That's why, what's the conclusion? Tasmad ekena manasa bhagavan satvatam patihi shrotavya kirtitavyasha dheya pujasya nityada. Tasmad ekena manasa, with single pointed attention. You can see this over here. Krishna said, no, who's this saying? Sutta Goswami is saying this. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, I'm usually bad with numbers, but okay, that was not bad. Therefore, one-pointed attention. One should constantly hear about, glorify, remember, and worship the personality of Godhead, who is a protector of the devotees. One-pointed attention. Vyavasaya atmika buddhi eki hakuru nandana. This verse changed Srila Prabhupada's life, the commentary on this, by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. The order of my spiritual master is my life and soul. My only goal in life is to fulfill the order of my spiritual master. And I will do this in heaven or in hell. Let the whole world burn down, but I will still perform the order of my guru. Such should be the determination of a disciple. He read this. That's it. I have to write these books and preach in the English language. Period. Until the point that he disappeared from this world, Srila Prabhupada is translating the Bhagavatam. Because that's the order of his guru. Guru Vakya Parama Mahatva. Acharya Mata Jay Se Matasar. There's nothing higher than this. The opinion of the Acharya is the highest, is the life and soul. What is it? Prabhupada writes, the order of the spiritual master is the active principle in the life of a disciple. That's no joke, it's a real thing. And we can see this over here. What's amazing in the Srimad Bhagavatam, the Shrotavya Kirtitavya Sha repeats itself he repeats it thrice, actually. Krishna, I guess Vyasadeva repeats it 3 times. And it all happens, this happens once, and then in the second canto, second chapter, it happens twice, where Tasmat Bharata Sarvatma Bhagavan Ishvaro Harihi Shrotavya Kirtitavya Sha Smartavya Shechata Bhayam. So we see this over here. This is 1:15. Okay, there's another one. Tasmat Bharata Sarvatma Bhagavan Ishvaro Harihi Shrotavya Kirtitavya Sha Smartavya. I just quoted this. Oh, descendant of King Bharata, one who desires to be free from miseries must hear about, glorify, and also remember the personality of Godhead, who is the super soul, the controller, and the savior from all miseries. And then again, yet again, the same thing is quoted again. Or the next chapter, 2 to 36. Tasmat sarvatmana rajan hari sarvatra sarvada shrotavya kirtitavyasya. What do you say? Shrotavya kirtitavyasya, smartavyam bhagavan nirnam. Nirnam, by the human being. If you're a human being, listen. O King, it is therefore essential that every human being hear about, glorify, and remember the personality of Godhead, always and everywhere. Therefore, if simply by hearing of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, we can get asakti towards Him. He's saying it right here. So going back to Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is a really amazing point. Free from doubt. Right? That's why we got on this whole thing. I wander to all holy places, atra, unrecognized by others, since I do not reveal this secret about the Lord to anyone. The Lord revealing Himself to Vidura, who was drowning in an ocean of grief. This is really amazing. Okay? This is really, really amazing. What Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says is fantastic, actually. And like only Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur could say something like this. It's really amazing. He says, the Lord revealing Himself to Vidura, who was drowning in an ocean of grief when he was driven out of the palace by Duryodhana, spoke to him. What did He say? O Vidura, my greatest devotee, are you lamenting because of separation from me? Having given you my promise to you now, you will see me wherever you travel, since I will go there before you. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is saying this. This is a blessing of the Lord. Even after the death of Duryodhana, when Yudhishthira gains the kingdom, Vidura was able to see the Lord effortlessly with great bliss. Whereas for others, great effort was needed to see the Lord. However, with the Lord's final disappearance, he would be withdrawn from the vision of Vidura. Therefore, until he met Uddhava, he was again disturbed because he could not see the Lord. It's amazing. How does Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur know this? How does he know this? Well, he's a pure devotee of the Supreme Lord, and he's seeing the passion of the Supreme Lord. And also, a really important point, taught to me by my Shiksha Guru, Shyamsundar Prabhu. He says that, in the Mula, in the Bhagavatam, which we have, is only 18,000 verses, right? In the heavenly planets, there's like billions of verses of the Bhagavatam in the heavenly planets. I can show you the quote he sent me, quoting some Sri Vaishnava or something. In the heavenly planets, there's so many, at least millions of verses. There's lots of verses of the Srimad. I'm talking about the Srimad Bhagavatam. Yeah. So there's so much more. So much more which is there in the heavenly planets. And then the great acharyas like Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur have access to this. And therefore they can say this. Therefore, that's how you know it's bona fide. You can see. Because coming from the acharya like Vishwanath, it's not coming from the imagination of some mundane person's fertile mind, but it's coming like this because they know, they understand. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is able to see and see this. So similarly, Brihad Bhagavatamrita, Sanatana Goswami, this is all there. It's Shastra. Why? Because the acharyas know this. Then, Shyamsundar Prabhu was telling me that one Sri Vaishnava, he revealed this to. Anyway, that he when he died and he went to the heavenly planets, he was a Chaturvedi. He knew all the Vedas, and he was like very proud. And he went to the heavenly planets and he knew this. And then they told him that all the knowledge that you have of all the Vedas that is nothing more than a grain of the knowledge that's here in the heavenly planets. So we have very little access actually. So the Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur can say this. He has access to this. It's a very amazing point, actually. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, he's telling him, my dear Vidura, my greatest devotee, are you really feeling so much, are you drowning in an ocean of grief because of separation from me? Don't worry. Now, wherever you go, you will see me. And then when he disappeared, then he was completely disturbed because that's all he wanted. All he wanted was to remember the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord. So then again, he remembered the Supreme Lord by doing what? How is he remembering the Supreme Lord? That's right. Hearing from Tat Shrinu. He is hearing. So if you simply hear, you can make it. That's the point. You can make it. You can associate with the spiritual master any point of time, anywhere. You can be anywhere. You could be here, there. You can be in Colorado Springs. You can be anywhere you want. You can associate with the spiritual master. And someone was telling me, oh, I don't want to put water, because I'm not used to doing it. I'll do it when Maharaj leaves. I told him, Maharaj never leaves here. Only fools think that he leaves. No, he never leaves. He's always here. What makes you think he's not here? He's always here. They're either manifest or unmanifest, but he's always here. Same thing with it. One Srila Prabhupada, they left Vrindavan and they were like in Delhi waiting to catch a flight to go to London or something. And Srila Prabhupada was a couple of his disciples. I think Guru Das Prabhu and Yamuna Mataji were also there. And then, Prabhupada was sitting there chanting, of course, And then, Yamuna Mataji said, Srila Prabhupada, now that we left Vrindavan, we're in Delhi. And Prabhupada said, we left Vrindavan? We left Vrindavan? Really? Did we really leave Vrindavan? Because no, he didn't. Prabhupada never leaves Vrindavan. He got Vrindavan here. He made Vrindavan here. So, that's the potency of the pure devotee to the Supreme Lord. You can make Vrindavan here, wherever you go. Rajajana Rasa Vedi Prachita Shri Jaya Shri Sahaparikara Gaurang Rankita Svanta Bhumi Bhuvana Vidita Tirtha Stoma Kirter Vitai. We can say this over here. That they know. Rajajana Rasa Vedi, like a person is, he's a connoisseur of the rasa of the Vrajavasis. So they can do it. They can manifest Vrindavan here. There's no question of them ever leaving, actually. So Srila Prabhupada also, some of his god brothers were criticizing him. Oh, he came to Mayapur and he didn't offer obeisances to Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur's Samadhi. And Prabhupada said, these people think that Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur is buried 6 feet underground. But little do they know that he's always with me. Little do they know that he's always with me. There's no question of the spiritual master not being with the disciple. You should always associate with the spiritual master in sound. From the time you wake up till the time you go to sleep. That is the secret, actually. So we see this, there's no question. There's no question of the disappearance of the acharyas. Sorry. Oops. Just wanted to see the time. Okay. So there's no question, There's no question of disappearance of the spiritual master. There's no question. It's always there. Spiritual master is always there. So Vidura is always associating with Krishna. He's always associating with Krishna. There's no question. So we also see, Vidura, goes on to say, Prabhupada goes on to say that, he's able to remember, and, Jiva Goswami makes this point, that he was never able to forget the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord. We see this over here. Even Narada Muni, he was sitting and finally the Lord appeared to him and he was like, this is amazing. Why would I want to stop? And the Lord disappears. Tells him, I'm really, really sorry, my dear boy. You will not see me for the rest of your life. That's, in one sense, that's messed up. Like what? That's why, this is, why? But he said, but why does he do it? The Acharyas explain to increase the attachment. Jiva Goswami makes this point. The Supreme Personality of Godhead didn't really allow Vidura to come see him, after this, because he wanted for him to have remorse. And give up all attachments that he may have had by associating with Dhritarashtra and the other people there. He makes this point, a very amazing point. He makes it, and that's why Abhayam Sattva Samshuddhi Jnana Yoga Vyavasthitihi. That this is very important. Abhayam Sattva Samshuddhi. Abhayam means fearlessness. Sattva Samshuddhi. Sattva means? That's right. Mukundatta Prabhu stumped us all. Because he was talking about the modes of material nature and what does sattva mean? And we were all like, mode of goodness, this, that. So no, sattva also means existence. Abhayam sattva samshuddhihi. That, your existence can be purified. So, abhayam, you're fearless. Abhayam atmani bhuyishta om kshom. Abhayam atmani. He rewards fearlessness. The Supreme Lord rewards fearlessness. The lotus feet reward fearlessness. That's why he has the Abhaya Hasta. Don't worry, I got this. The Supreme Lord, always say, you got this. And especially when Narasimhadev has a Abhaya Hasta on his hand. You can say, okay, he got this. He literally proves to you, no matter how big of a demon a person may be, Narasimhadev got you. If you just have to have faith in him. Right? That's why the nakhas of Narasimhadev are Sudarshana Chakra. Right? Maharaj was just telling you this. Sudarshan Chakra. The nails. The nails of the Supreme Lord. That's how he killed it. The tips of the nails. That's the Sudarshana. He's ready to kill. Ugra evayam subhaktanam rikeshari. Keshari vasapotanam anyesham ugra vikramaha. Just like the lion cub, the lioness, her mouth is very ferocious for the praise or for the deers or whatever. But for the cub is protection. Why? Because the lioness, she holds the cub with her teeth, right? And she transfers the cub from one place to another. Similarly, the Supreme Lord also is so kind when he's very affectionate to his devotees. So he was very, very, very angry, and so many devotees were offering prayers, and he did not take notice of him. But when little boy Prahlad offers his obeisances at the lotus feet of Nrsimhadev, he picks him up, and according to Sanatana Goswami, he licks his limbs. Just like a lion licks the limbs of a lioness. The Supreme Lord also licks the limbs of Prahlad Maharaj in the form of Nrsimhadev. It's very amazing. Actually, Supreme Lord is so affectionate, he's so merciful. Provided, we fully, he's always affectionate, but we can experience this provided we are completely taking shelter of him. That's why, Sattvam Vishuddham Vasudeva Shabditam. It's in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Forgetting the verse number. What? The verse number for that? Sattvam Vishuddham Vasudeva Shabditam. Prabhupada quotes this in many lectures, over and over again actually. Prabhupada quotes this, that you can purify your existence by Vasudeva Shabditam, by hearing pure transcendental sound vibration. So we can see this, Vidura is able to do this. The stage of dependence is called Sattva Samshuddhihi. This is real freedom. Real freedom can be had by one who is always fully dependent upon the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Then Prabhupada says, it's not me, okay? Prabhupada is saying this here. He was not at all sorry to be bereft of his hearth and home, because he now had experienced that dependence on the mercy of the Lord is greater than the so-called freedom at home. You can think, I am free, Prabhuji, I am free. I don't have to wake up for Mangalarti. I don't really need to eat only prasadam. Let me go get that bread. Let me do whatever I want. I'm free. I am free to do whatever I want. I can travel wherever I like. I can go wherever. But can you though? Can you though? How many days after you get off of your work? 14 days? Are you really free? You can miss Mangalarti, but can you miss your job? Oh, you're so free. I can eat karmic grains. You can eat. But are those karmic grains free for you? Aren't you a slave of a beefeater and a drunkard? So who's really free? Who's really free? One who's fully dependent upon the mercy of the Lord. Ananya shintayanto mam yejanaf paripasate tesham nityabhyuktanam yogakshemam vahamyaham. Supreme Personality of Godhead says, for those who constantly meditate upon my transcendental form, I preserve what they have and carry what they lack. Facts. Always. Krishna always comes through. This is the motto of Krishna life. Right? Krishna always comes through. There's never been a point of time where Krishna didn't come through. Krishna always comes through. That's what he does. And he does it in style. Right? We tell, sometimes, man, what I got to buy these books, man? Some of the black people ask me, like, what I got to buy these books? I said, man, we worship the spiritually black God, bro. And he no one else got the swag like he does, bro. When he come through, he really come through, and he got a swag about it, bro. It's like, all right, I'll buy the books. Because he got like better swag than you, man. And he does, Krishna does, way better than you can ever imagine, actually, So, yeah, when Krishna, he comes through in style, Krishna, he does his thing. And when he does his thing, even when the whole of Vrindavan is being devastated, Krishna makes sure he's he adjusts his turban, he wants to look good. Vishwanath Chakravarti, Sanatana Goswami actually says this in the Brihad Bhagavatam. He adjusts his, his turban, keeps his decoration properly. Samvartaka clouds are coming, can you all move a little bit? I want to go to Govardhan without having my, the water wash off my, decorations. Move a little bit. He goes, he lifts it up, and he does it in style. That's how Krishna rolls. So Krishna is way better than anyone. Krishna always comes through. Krishna, he wants to see how badly you want him, and he's always going to want to make you want him more. That's what he does. And you can, even with Prahlad Maharaj, right? The demons throw him off the cliff. And the cliff is here. Krishna doesn't catch him here. Doesn't catch him here. Doesn't catch him here. I'm about to hit the floor, my Lord. Finally holds him all the way in the bottom. Krishna holds him. Prahlad Maharaj always, okay, wow, it's amazing. I'm thinking of the Supreme Lord. Thinking of the Supreme Lord. And this is such an amazing point. One of the Sri Vaishnava Acharyas say that when Prahlad Maharaj was being thrown from the cliff, he was holding on to his heart like this because he wanted to protect the Paramatma from being hit. That's amazing. So he held him. Krishna wants to see. Krishna wants to see. Like how badly do you really want him? If you really want Krishna, then there's no time for anything else. There's no time for anything else, actually. Where's there time to do anything else? You wake up, you have to chant your rounds, you have to do this, you have to do that, you have to go out on books, you have to do this, you come back and you're material desire. And you pass out, you're done for the day. Like, oh my God, I wake up like, whoa, what was I thinking? Oh, never mind, bro. I'm 2 minutes late, I gotta go. And it just happens, and and then the guy next to you blasting a lecture, like a sun scarification is Maya. Like, oh yeah, okay. Oh, yeah, you know what? All right, yeah, okay. And you come to class and you come to the kirtan and everyone is dancing. You don't want to be like the Tamagun homie in the back. Come on, all right, let's go. Let's get into it. We all in this together. It's all nice. It's ecstatic. Haribol, and you can go, and then after some time, and then you may be more in the spiritual master turns around and looks like, oh, Guru Maharaj, yep, I'm right here, I'm going, I'm good to go. You just say, okay, we're here, we got this, and then, it just keeps, going on. What do you have, what's missing? I'm really thinking dude, we literally have to be the luckiest people on the planet, seriously, right? I was thinking, I was dancing in Kirtan this morning. My spiritual master was here. I told Ali, bro, this is my constitutional position. I'm in Gorli. Here's my spiritual master. I'm dancing with him in Kirtan. That's what life is all about, right? It's not about changing diapers. It's not. It's really not. Bro, can you imagine, you change diapers, bro? That's messed up. I think, dude, what time was it? I would have been chanting japa. What am I doing changing diapers, man? Seriously. It's not about that. You can either dress the deities or you can dress your baby. Whatever you want to do. It's up to you. It's true. So, you can see this. It's exciting. What do you have to lose? What do you have to gain? You got everything to gain, nothing to lose. Do it today, don't delay. Do it today, don't delay, It's amazing. You can do it. It's nectar. It's amazing. Oh, Prabhuji, I want companionship. Oh, we got companionship like anything, and it's the way, we make it work. But it's there, what's there? Oh, no, Prabhu, what about marriage? I'm already married, matter of fact. We are married to the order of the spiritual master to distribute Prabhupada's books, aren't we? We're all co-wives of that order. Polygamy is allowed in Vedic culture, It's true. You can take as many co-wives as you want. That order can take as many co-wives as he wants. What's the problem? You can either do that or you can have your own headaches to deal with. And Srila Prabhupada gives this example. I'm sorry, I'm getting into a little brahmachari bhav here, but hey, got to get it out somehow or the other. So, we can see this over here sometimes. Srila Prabhupada said, a man comes, he thinks, wow, I have 2 wives. I'm the man. And then, he comes, and I have 3 wives, okay. And then, he comes and, comes home from work, and then one wife is pulling him in one direction, the other wife is pulling him in another direction, the other one is pulling him in another direction, and he's, falls on the floor and he's completely frustrated. Prabhupada says this example. So, instead of all that, you can simply depend upon the mercy of the Supreme Lord. It's nice, it's sweet, it's amazing. Just see Paramatma just holding on to his chest to make sure that Paramatma doesn't get hurt. That's amazing. That's amazing. To have that level, it's nectar actually. And you can experience that on book distribution. It's true. Some random dude buys a Bhagavatam, they're like, dude, that's amazing. And the Spanish people, we were in the Beltline the other day. There's Spanish people were there, and they're initially, are you Buddha? Are you Buddha? No, but I have Buddha. And we're telling them all these crazy things, and then they left and they came back. You take Zell? I said, yes, I take Zell. I take card, I take everything. And then somehow the other, they got a Bhagavatam on the Beltline, and the Bhagavatam is being shipped to their home, right? Ali Krishna Prabhu? That's right. The Bhagavatam is being shipped to their home. It's nectar. It's amazing. What the heck happened? And and they didn't even have to carry it. I told her, yes, look at these pictures. Wow. I said, oh yeah, okay, now let's go. Wow, oh yeah, look at this one. Oh, look at that one. Oh, look at this one. And then, matter of fact, look at this Sanskrit pronunciation guide and this and why don't you get it? Okay, this. Boom, done, finished. That's it. They have Bhagavatam in their home in a few days, right? Depending on the USPS. But they're going to have the Srimad Bhagavatam set inside their house. That's crazy. How is this possible? But it's there, and the nectar is available for everyone. Provided we're not condescending, we're not too puffed up, provided we're not proud, all these things. But yeah, how do you get knowledge? Brahmachari Gurukule Vasan Danta Gurur Hitam Dasavan Acharat Nicho Guru Sukhrida Saukhridaha. Actually, matter of fact, this is a good one. I think it'll be appreciated by everyone.
Hitam Dasavan Acharan Nicho Sudrida Guru Sauhrida. The brahmachari should live at the Gurukul and control his senses. And he should take a very humble position. They don't teach you that in VIT, do they? One should serve the Guru like a menial servant. This is the way to get knowledge. We learn from Mahabharata how to get knowledge by sincere service to the Guru. Yasya deve para bhakti yata deve tata guru tasyaite katita hyarta prakashante mahatmanaha. For one who has firm faith in the Guru is the same as his faith in God. All the Vedic knowledge is revealed.
So we can see this over here. All the Vedic knowledge is revealed. Simply, by doing menial service to the Guru. So don't be puffed up, just do some menial service. All right, go to books, whatever. What does it matter? It doesn't matter, really. So you can depend fully on the mercy of Krishna. And the lotus feet of Krishna are very beautiful. Look at the lotus feet of Shri Shri Radha Shyam Sundar, or Shri Shri Krishna Balaram, or Shri Shri Gaurnitai, or Radha Govinda. Exclusive for brahmacharis only. You can come to my room and look at their lotus feet. You can see, they're so beautiful, the lotus feet of Radha Govinda. Or you can go to New York City, or you can get a picture for yourself. But, it's a nice, very amazing. The lotus feet of Radha Govinda are very beautiful. They're very amazing. And, Jiva Goswami makes this really amazing point, actually. Let me see. Okay, anyway, that's gone, so, okay. Giving up, okay. Where is this? Anyway, I'm unable to find it right now. But, he says that he's always thinking, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur just said actually, that he's always thinking of the lotus feet of Krishna. Because the lotus feet of Krishna are most beautiful. And Abhayam, don't worry, Krishna will take care of you. What's the problem? What do you need? Like a little place to sleep on the floor? A little prasadam to eat? A little bit of this? What do you need? It's nice. And, Prabhuji, but the itching sensation is there. But Srila Prabhupada said in Atlanta in 1975, Prabhupada said, my Guru Maharaj liked this brahmachari life very much. He liked this brahmachari life very much. All you need is simply need a little space on the floor and some books to read and some books to distribute, And, he liked this brahmachari life very much. The itching sensation is there. And Prabhupada said, but you preach and you pray to Krishna and the itching sensation will go away. Prabhupada said this. Itching sensation there? Of course it's there. What do you mean it's not there? It's there. But you preach and you pray to Krishna and the itching sensation will go away. It's simple. What's the big deal? He's the same guy, the same guy doing the same thing, What's the big deal? We had a Machita Madhgata Prana in Dallas, but that's for some other time. But, we can see and we can understand it. We can either we can see Narottam Das Thakur, Pashane Kutibo Mata, Anale Pashibo, Goranga Gunirani, Dikota Gile Pabo. We can feel so much separation from Lord Chaitanya by the mercy of the Acharyas that we rather enter into fire or smash our head against a rock. Or you could get into a super duper argument with your wife and smash your head against a wall. It's true. Someone told us about this. It happened, So, the choice is ours. However you want to do it, the choice is yours. You know what I'm saying? So, anyway, a devotee of the Lord who's called Narayana Parayana is never afraid of anything because he's always aware of the fact that the Lord protects him in all circumstances. Muktanam api siddhanam Narayana Parayana Sudurlabha Prasannatma Koti Shubhi Mahamunehe. That, there's Muktanam, there's so many people, Muktanam, there's so many people who may be liberated. There may be so many people who are Siddhas, Muktanam api siddhanam. But it's very rare who is one who is Narayana Parayana Sudurlabha Prasannatma. It's very rare to attain Sudurlabha. Sudurlabha Prasannatma. What are you saying, Prabhuji? Sudurlabha Prasannatma, Prashantatma, Kotishvapi Mahamune. You will not find such a person even in millions and millions and millions of such people. You won't. So it's very rare to find the pure devotee, and when you get his association, take it. Take it. Shuddha Bhakata Sharana Renu, Bhajana Anukula, Bhakata Seva Paramasiddhi, Prema Lati Karamula. It's very amazing. Shuddha Bhakata Sharana Bhajan is the most amazing thing. The three most powerful substances in the whole world, what are they? The dust of the lotus feet of a pure devotee, the water that's washed the lotus feet of a pure devotee, and the Guru Prasad or the Mahaprasad of the pure devotee. So there's the three most powerful things, and when you get a chance to take it, you take it down. It's nectar. It'll save your spirit after initiation. Okay, just putting it out there. And then it's nectar. You can see, and of course you can always associate with the spiritual master by his instructions. So we can see this over here. So it's very amazing. With this conviction, Vidura traveled alone. One amazing, in a comment in the 11th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam, I can pull up the exact thing. I remember reading this. That Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says that for the pure devotees, we need association. We always need association. For pure devotees like Srila Prabhupada or whoever, they're alone. They're traveling alone and they're preaching alone. They themselves are their association. That's powerful. That's really powerful. Do not try this at home. Literally, don't go. You think, matter of fact, I'll be better off, away from the association of devotees. And next thing you know, you're asking advice from a blooped out guy about Krishna consciousness. Don't do stupid stuff like that. Always, give everything you got to Krishna. Surrender to Krishna, always be in the association of devotees. That's the most important thing. It's the most important thing. So we can see this, that Krishna is always bewildering the non-devotees, but he's always seen by the devotees by the dint of their pure devotional service to him. Rirtetam yat pratiyeta na pratiyeta chatmani tad vidyadatmano mayam yata bhasha yatatamaha. You can always see Krishna. You can always see Krishna. And if wherever you see Krishna, if you're looking at something, you don't remember Krishna, you're in Maya. But if you look at something, you remember Krishna, you say his relationship to Krishna, you're in Yoga Maya. So which Maya do you want to be in? The choice is yours. That's why what's the goal of life? What's the best thing to do? Mad janmanav palamidam madhukaita bare mad prataniya madanugraha esha eva tvad bhritya bhritya paricharaka bhritya bhritya bhrityasya bhritya iti mam smaralokanataha. That we can understand this. Mad janmanav palamidam madhukaita bare. My dear Lord, Madhu, my dear Lord, killer of Madhu and Kaitaba. The perfection of my life. Mad janmanav palamidam, the fruit of my life. Majanmanav phalamidam madhukaita mad prataniya madanugraha esha eva. I have one prayer only, and what's that prayer? Is I can be the servant of 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 your pure devotee. So I'll end the class here. If there's any questions or comments. It's a day off, Prabhu. You can change the necktie a little bit, it's okay. Please. Vishnu Chitra Prabhu, you have something? No? Okay, yes. Yes.
In the purport, Srila Prabhupada mentioned how the Lord encouraged them. I think he was talking about Dhritarashtra. I was wondering what that meant.
Talking Duryodhana in a sense, encourage them by letting things go their way. I mean, they did. Anyway, I don't want to get into my Mahabharata bhav, okay? But, there's so many ways that the Lord, let their plans, you know what? You want to exile them, all right, exile them. You want this, you want that, you want to take over Indraprastha, take over Indraprastha. He didn't fully execute their orders of trying to kill them, kill the Pandavas, but he gave them most of the things that he wanted. To encourage them. Why? Because, when you do stuff like this, then all your whatever good fruits you have are completely burnt out, and all you have left is to be killed by the Pandavas. We can see this over here. Why did the demigods, when Kamsa was taking the chariot of Vasudeva and Devaki after their marriage, why did the demigods have that Akashvani? You fool, the 8th child is going to kill you. Why? Because by serving Vaishnavas, by serving pure devotees, you become really powerful. How are the demigods going to kill him? Therefore, by doing that, they made Kamsa commit Vaishnava aparad. Finish. So like that. I saw your hand go. Yashandanacharya, yes, Prabhu.
It's Prabhupada talks about how the renunciation should always be dependent on the Lord. And it's just the principle of our life, especially as brahmacharis, and then, obviously the other order being sannyas. But it's just we've seen, it's such insignificant things, but even in New York when, we ain't got nothing to eat sometimes, and it's just anyways,
we got that rotten kitchen, boy. Drink some water and go to sleep.
But then, when you have some certain desires, the Lord would fulfill that.
Yeah.
And we'd be of course, ashamed of that. Damn, I should have had a better desire.
Sometimes ashamed, sometimes thank you for hooking this up.
I was with Adi Krishna Prabhu in New Talavan one day, and just the rice was over. We were going out on Sankirtan, and it's hot, and we got nothing to eat. And
those are the nectar days.
All we had was a sabji. That was it.
No, I love that.
Yeah, it was just it was potato and peas. Ali, it is what it is,
boy.
I can hop in there and make rice, but it's just forget it, bro. Let's just should we save from for dinner, bro? I was just forget it, bro.
No, this is all we got.
This is all we got, dude. Let's just see what happens.
The suffering.
And then I was bro, what would be good though? If there was some halava, bro, that would be
so
nice.
Yeah.
I don't know if I said puris.
No, you definitely said puris if he remembers, yeah.
And then half an hour later, one of the devotees walked out. I was anybody want puris? There's some halavas and puris.
Yo, yeah! Jackpot, dude,
And then
yeah.
what was more ecstatic is Mataji she kept paneer, rice,
She looked out for you.
and chapati.
She got love for you.
And cake.
Bhakti Mohini
for the
Mataji.
evening when we got back too.
Dude.
It was like.
She got love for the brahmacharis. You know when someone got love for the
and then she
brahmacharis,
made-
they're
and
the
then she
real
made-
ones.
And then she made pakoras.
And the
for us.
brahmacharis say, okay,
And
just
then she
saying.
made
Okay.
fresh hot pakoras for us.
Hot pakoras.
Like-
Dude, let's hit it. Bro.
Like
I get fired up when you talk about prasadam, man. You know, that's how it
9 o'clock
goes.
at night, you know, it's just like.
Hey, ain't no shame in my
It's
game.
amazing how,
Seriously.
but if we went out of our way to like make out, like arrange for ourselves and do all
Yeah.
that, it would have not been.
That nectar would be missing.
And that mercy of the Lord, we wouldn't conceive of that mercy of the
That
Lord.
vibration is real.
Just like both, you just benefit is like, it's just like, you just.
Yeah.
When you're going to suffer anyway.
Krishna is going to look out for you. Okay, look, it's this, right? So, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Yeah, I'm going to hold back.
So it's just saying, like sometimes it seems like your situation's like, nah, it's like if I feel like I don't take care of myself right now with this certain thing, I'm gonna suffer a lot. But like when you just depend, like there's like multiple things that happen. Your desire gets fulfilled, and then you also experience like and see Krishna in your life and experience that mercy of the Lord, and
Yeah.
and then that carries on to next situation, and then the it's like you know what is that? Bhakti propagates bhakti. What is this? Bhakti sanjayate bhakti.
Bhakti Sanjayate Bhaktya, right? Bhaktya.
Yeah, I forget which way around. So, so it's amazing how, like, by that little faith, your faith increases, and then next time it happens, you're not.
Yeah, hey.
You're like, anyways.
It's happened way too many times for us to not have faith.
And if it doesn't happen, you're still like, you know, okay.
Yeah.
You can take it.
It is what it is. That's how it goes. I mean, the principle of renunciation is so nicely defined by Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, actually. It's my second favorite quote of his. I've quoted it many times. If you put everything in God's hand, you'll see God's hand in everything. It's just how it goes. You know, you just do it like Sunday, like, Prabhuji, like, where are we going to go? Like, we're going to figure it out tomorrow. You know, and like, sometimes when we're out on books, it's amazing. Like, this is like, what are we doing, you know? But somehow, you know, it's amazing. Every day you're just sharing Bhagavatam. That's amazing, you know? It's really nice. It's nectar, actually. It's nectar. And we can see, and you know, even so many times in New York, like, all I just drink that water and go to sleep, you know? And I remember it happened to us a couple of times. And then next thing you know, Mother Satya, like, literally hooks us up with like 2 full crates of pizza. Do you remember that? After the Sunday program? 2 full, like, oh my God. Dude, we just went at it, you know, and we were like, oh man, like, you know, I remember, oh, what are we going to do? And then like, you know, I was thinking, oh, there's no prasadam, whatever. And then like, you know, my best friend at the time, you know, he was like, hey bro, like, you know, there was like this cake in the Harinam, bro, and I stole the whole thing for us, bro. I said, are you serious? I'm like, yeah, let's go. And dude, me and him, like we waited for everyone to go to sleep. He's like, Mahotsaha, bro, wake up, bro. And we woke up and we took down that cake, me and him. Like, took the whole cake. Amazing, you know, Krishna looks out. Krishna, you're gonna have your times, you know. Hey, just pray to Krishna. That's all I gotta say. You know, so Krishna always looks out for you. There's no question. You know. Anyway, yeah. So someone, you had something? Yeah, go ahead.
You brought up the verse of, about Yogi Nama Bisar Besham and how, you know, that best yogi is he who meditates on him. And it just reminded me, it was like really amazing, like it reminded me, we were driving back from Gatlinburg because it was pouring down. And Rishi Kumar Prabhu decided to read Ramayana. And like, you know, Mason just finished chanting, and so like, you know, it's like the beginning of Ramayana where like Vishwamitra Muni is with all Lord Raman, you know, Lakshman, and he's telling all these like crazy stories.
Yeah.
And then he got to the part about Vasishtha Muni and Vishwamitra Muni.
Oh yeah, they got
like,
love for each other.
Like yeah, and yeah, that whole pastime, and then that's when like Mason actually was like getting like really into it. Like he was like, oh my God, like this is like crazy. I've never heard anything like this. You know?
Yeah.
And I was just thinking like.
First, dude, it's really
It's
wild. I'm
crazy.
like,
It's really crazy.
like,
And like,
this is a crazy book. Let me
oh
read
my
it.
God! I mean, there's like the Indra, like, you know, go to Mamuni, like cursing him, and then
Yeah.
like, that's when he really got like, whoa, like what the heck, you know? But then, and then like it got to like Vishwamitra Muni and Vasishtha Muni, you know, and it was like it's like really like legendary. And I was thinking like, bro, like this is. I was telling Mason like, you know, this is like Dragon Ball. All this is like a perfect
nothing.
reflection on this stuff.
Oh.
Like it's like he's like okay, he goes like to Rajarshi, then Maharshi, and then
Yeah.
Brahmarshi, and then like all these crazy celestial weapons, and
Yeah.
they're fighting, and it's crazy.
Yeah. Oh,
you know,
bro.
and I like it's really crazy. I'm like forget about
This
Dragon Ball.
real,
bro.
really, bro.
Like the Brahmarshi, you know.
That's
and then like I was like, this is crazy. And then like it reminded me of this anecdote by Prabhupada. I was telling like, bro, like And Prabhupada said we do 3 days of the Sankirtan movement. That's more
Preach,
than
brother.
1,000 years of Vishwamitra Muni
That's a
meditating,
fact.
bro.
Thousands
Talking
of years.
Talking about Rajarsi. What? And he was like, why? Like, how is that possible? Like, he's like thinking like, I don't have these like crazy powers. Like, what's going on? And like Rishi Kumar, like, bro, like,
Throwing
I'm
him
trying to
under
be a
the bus,
Brahmarshi. Like, I
man.
should be like a super Maha Brahmarshi by now. You know? But like, for real.
No, but yeah, you have to understand when they say benefit, it means like spiritual
Yeah,
realization.
and so Rishi Kumar Prabhu made that point. It's like they're doing all this stuff. They have all these crazy powers, all this. But like, what's the name of all this like mystic yogi? All this like, if you're not meditating on Krishna,
Yeah.
you know, and like
Yeah.
he was saying like this is like the mercy, like this is what's like so amazing about Kali Yuga.
Yeah.
Is like we're starting at the goal. Like
Facts.
they're doing all this, but
Preach.
we got Bhagavatam.
That's
class.
right.
We coming to
We got Bhagavatam right
Like,
here.
He's like,
We're doing it on
that's
the
what I'm saying.
streets.
Like we ain't like trying to be like a Brahmarshi for Kamadenu. You
Yeah.
know? But like we're going to
No, I look for Kamadhenus and Surabhis all the time.
That's what I'm saying.
Cows. Anyway,
So like that's
there's some good cows, man.
so anyhow, it's like Mason was like, oh my God, like I just like how is this possible? It's just the causeless mercy that like, we're able to do.
That's
that.
right.
Kali
Prabhupada's
Yuga.
mercy.
Like it's crazy. Like, he really couldn't wrap his mind. It's like,
Yeah.
how is that possible? Like, and I think like that's like a hang up for a lot of like when I first came, that was like so I just so happened to be like in the best time. And, like
Yeah, you
I
do,
came
man.
across
Just
the answers and this.
Run
and that.
with
Like,
it. You know what
it's
you
so-
got to do. Run with
yeah.
it. You know, seriously.
It's just the causeless mercy that I tried.
Yeah.
So like it was really amazing.
Mataji's? Anything? Okay. All right. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.